Today is Wednesday, April 8th, 2020. Welcome to the Survivor Fans Podcast. I'm Joanne.
And I'm Stacy.
And this is our recap of Winners at War, Week 9.
This episode is titled War is Not Pretty, and that was spoken by Probst at the reward challenge in reference to the fact that someone was going to have to sit out and would not be eligible for a reward. The Probst titles tend to be, I don't appreciate them as much, I guess. I always want it to be one of the castaways given the title.
Okay, then.
We're coming back from Tribal at the beginning of this episode. We're back at the Koru camp. It's night 21. This is going to be a 2-day cycle, all taking place on 22 and 23. And Tony notes that the skies are clear, and at least they got that going for them. At least they can see when they get back to camp.
And Michele is annoyed once again. She's been blindsided.
Yeah, she says blindside deja vu from day 2.
Do you believe her when she said she wanted Wendell out?
I don't know what to believe in regards to that storyline, so I just let that roll on off. I thought I'm not going to invest any energy in thinking about that. She describes them.
There's no way to prove it one way or the other.
Not at this point. She describes them all as bumbling, fumbling idiots, and Nick shares her sentiment. But this is a great contrast to see how they both deal with this, and we've seen Nick in this situation before too. And he declares, "I'm next. I'm going to let him have it."
So, but Michele tells Nick that it was him and Adam's name on the block today. Well, if she knew that, did she tell him earlier in the day? And if she didn't, why not?
Don't know. They didn't really invest any time in that. It was really about dealing with Nick's little tirade, and we've seen this, saw it in his first season, and he never seemed to really suffer any consequences from it. So I guess that's why he didn't learn anything
I think it was contained,
from this. Tony actually talks him down. He says, "Sit down, Nick." Nick's going on about how they're always coming after me.
Calm down. Nobody's after you because you voted because of Wendell and blah, blah, blah. So it's pretty good. He talked him down.
Tony has
talked him down.
singled out Nick as a hyena, and Nick does in fact have some hyena-like features when he smiles. So that was interesting to see Tony work him like that, given how Tony has clearly pegged him as one of the lower lights, not a highlight player in a hyena.
Well, I kind of think Tony and Jeremy want to pull Nick in, or wanted to at some point. Thought maybe they could use him, that he would join them when Wendell was gone. So, but if he's too difficult, then they're not going to.
It's a classic Nick reaction, like we were just talking about, in that he loses control. He basically is willing to blow up his game. Michele tries to talk him down, Tony tries to talk him down, and he's all about revenge. And so my takeaway at this point, given these limited set of data on him, is that he learned nothing from his first season in regards to how to handle these kind of situations.
Well, he won, so why would he think?
Why would he think any different? Well, he could have watched how he was edited, how he was perceived externally, and come to some conclusions. But no, he's right back in that.
I got the $1 million. I'm good.
That pity party. He fell right back down in that hole. Adam just tells us, though, when they cut to him, that he is here, and for that he's thankful.
And that he was very nervous. And this is when we first learn about he thinks there's an idol there on Jeff's podium.
When he's talking to Michele.
Yeah.
That was interesting that he chose to share it with Michele. Have you noticed the podium? There's the fleur-de-lis, just like in Denise's idol.
I was surprised by that, too. Why would you tell that if you really thought it could be an idol?
Well,
maybe he just wanted someone's opinion, so he didn't. I would have encouraged you. Yeah, you go up there and get that thing. Okay. We'll get to talk about that later. So
And Michele tells him that she's going to present one face to them, which is the right way to do it. So that's the contrast. Michele says, externally to them, I'm going to be on board, but I'm going to be looking for opportunities to get revenge. As far as contrasted with Nick's, I'm going to go blow up my own game response. And Adam says that he's fine, that Michele represents an opportunity if she's going to play it that way. And Adam is already imagining what an epic way to solve his problem's going to be when he goes up and plays the idol that is hidden in plain sight there at Tribal Council.
meanwhile, out on Edge of Extinction, a few people are doing some beach yoga.
Parvati, Natalie, and Danny. And then Yule comes up and grabs some tree mail and then teases them all by asking them if they were ready for pizza. That's got to be an old joke at this point out there.
I would assume
Day 22.
so, yes.
Yeah.
They'd all smell pizza a mile away if it was out there. For sure. Okay, the clue is history repeats.
When history repeats itself,
It leads to success.
and that basically convinces them that all clues are in play.
Well, they first are thinking, though, it's the clues they've received this season. It was Danny that
It was.
kind of thought.
Yeah,
it was,
she had the presence of mind to look at it in an even broader sense and said, what if it was past seasons? And then Parvati said, oh, yeah, the one
Aubrey
where Aubrey found that one in the hole in the rocks on the way up the stairs. And sure enough, that's where Parvati ends up pulling it out. So this is another interesting new advantage. It's a
Yes, it is.
50-50 there on the flip of the coin
Oh, man.
that you can sell over to the players that are still in the game. And the really neat thing about it is that you can set any value. Finally,
Oh, yeah.
they changed the economy where they weren't dictating how much things were worth and let it be up to the person on the edge in terms of how much to ask for.
And they're obviously keeping track of who's got what. Mm-hmm. So that they know who to tap into.
Right.
So people should probably
Yeah, she was really
stop telling that. But
she was really clear that Michele had 4.
I bet that's one of the first things they say is, who did you give your
fire
tokens
tokens to. Yeah.
And then they're like keeping a count in their
Yep.
head. Because they knew exactly how many Michele had and where to get the most tokens from. So that's pretty cool.
Yes and no, in the sense that from any single person, where she didn't push the limit, was to force someone to pool so that they could get even more.
Yeah, I think they were just concerned about they'd be
Played it
thrilled to get the 4.
Safe from a risk perspective, but there was no limit. So
Yeah, I'm not sure I would do that with somebody, go in with somebody for that many.
and then they decide to share with everyone about you get this flip the coin advantage, and it can make you safe if it lands on the safe side. And
Now, who would have thought that Parvati wouldn't keep that? She changed her mind at first. Oh, yeah, and it'd just be me and you,
Right.
blah, 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 blah. And then she was like, I can't do it.
I think what I found more interesting was she ends up saying there's 6 of us that are very hungry. And you'll
Yeah.
note that there are 8 people on Edge of Extinction right now. So just like Natalie, when she was talking about breaking off into 2s and making sure that Yule and Wendell didn't get anything,
Yeah,
Parvati's...
because they'd eaten.
They've evidently been talking about that amongst themselves. So Parvati excluded Yule and Wendell from whatever she might buy with those 4 fire tokens if the deal goes through. That's how I took that.
Well, I'm sure, they all know Natalie's got to be even more hungry than most of them because she's been there the longest. Mm-hmm. Her and Amber. But, yeah.
Maybe they were planning while they were out there doing that beach yoga.
You said Tyson shared with Parvati some of his peanut butter.
I did read that in a tweet, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So, maybe she felt that would be worthwhile.
Mm-hmm.
Since nobody else had any tokens. She could use one of them for a jar of peanut butter.
On to the reward challenge. Got 2 teams of 5. They're going to pick captains. It ends up being Kim and Jeremy are the captains. Kim for the blue team and Jeremy for the red team. And then whoever doesn't get picked at the end has to sit out. The reward is Chinese takeout, and we were just talking about what we might be having for supper and choosing a couple Chinese
We're so
restaurants.
gullible.
Yeah,
God,
influenced just like that. Whether it's chicken wings or
Man.
Chinese.
Or peanut butter.
Yes. Yep. Okay, so they got to go out. 3 of them are going to go out from each team and retrieve a net that's got a bunch of wooden fish tied to it, and they bring those up and untie the fish and put them on a fish hook that's fish hooks that are dangling from a pole, and then they have to bring all that up to the puzzle solvers. For the blue team, the puzzle solvers are Sophie and Michele, and then for the red team, it's Jeremy and Nick.
Which were good choices for the puzzles.
Maybe not so much with Nick. I'd say his track record with puzzles is a bit off of late.
I thought he had done okay in things. Who else? Well, Tyson might have been okay. Adam, no. Tony, well, anyway, it was what it was, and they did okay, but...
Actually, it was very close. Looked like
Yep.
red had it, and then it looked like blue had it, and then they're both teams are switching fish back and
girls
forth.
Figured it out first.
Yes, that's right.
How to make that
Sophie and Michele made
little
it
bit
work.
of extra room to get that down in there.
They saw it before Jeremy and Nick could straighten theirs out.
And they were very happy.
Blue wins, and Nick is bum puzzled. He says, I don't know where we were doing wrong. He couldn't even see it at the end. So what did you think of Sarah's happy birthday surprise, where she opted to give her win
Well,
over to Nick?
It was certainly a nice gesture, but it didn't end up gaining her anything at all, and it kind of seemed to hurt her a little bit in the game. And I understand the point of view that so many people are out there like, no, if I overeat, then I'll be sick, and I just do better if I just stay where I am, eat what I'm eating, I'll be fine till I get to the end. If I go gorge myself on Chinese food, I'm gonna be sick the rest of the day, and blah blah blah. So I'll just make a gesture. It was Nick's birthday, and he got blindsided. I felt bad. She said it was genuine, so I really do have to believe that. But as it turns out, I think it was a bad move. Even Nick didn't really appreciate it.
Adam certainly thought it was a bad move. No, I think Nick appreciated it. He just said he wasn't going to let it sway him in any way, which
Well,
is the
nor
right
should he.
response.
Yeah, nor should he.
Adam tells us, though, that Sarah made a mistake, and he's fine with her having a bigger target on her. He'll take advantage of that.
And he does not trust her.
Back at Koru there on day 22 after the reward challenge, everyone gets to see the food. That a lot of times they'd put it up
That's-
somewhere, but now it's right in camp, and then they have to take it and go eat somewhere
That's
else.
wrong. It's wrong because the smell's still there.
Yes, absolutely.
That's just that, no.
No, that's perfect.
You can do without things, but if you smell it,
Yep, you get to
it'll
see
be
it and
like,
smell
I
it.
am going to tackle you. I will beat you to death today. Give me some of that.
Okay, to the death with Joanne.
Hey,
Sarah's standing by her decision. His birthday was yesterday, she tells us, so she's good with doing that. Tony's not having it. What did you do? He asks her as they sit and have a chat down at the beach. He tells her he didn't want to beat her up for it, but then he proceeds to beat her
then
up
he
for
beats
it.
her up for it. She's like, I was just trying to be nice. He's like, no.
He said, you became human.
It's like, what is wrong,
What's wrong
with you?
with
I
you,
cannot
Sarah?
play with a human.
You're supposed to be a bot.
Well, she has played as a bot in a lot of people's opinions. And that is what you need to do when you want to win, stay focused. But, she didn't think it was going to cost her anything, but obviously she was wrong.
I just wish he would have said, you saw what happened to Sandra when she let her guard down. I think that would have made a point that would have resonated with Sarah, but Sarah was still focused on doing a good
Yeah.
deed. Tony tells us she was caught up in the moment.
I don't think it hurt her in the long run, just momentarily, because they're all paranoid.
Well, Jeremy, Denise, and Adam were talking about it back at camp, and they said definitely that was
Yeah.
all about gameplay. So I think that did hurt her to some degree. You just don't want that kind of stink on you while you're out there. Everybody's thanking Kim as they're gorging themselves over at the reward feast, and likewise inspecting the bottom of every container that gets picked up.
I like that they were all so totally open about it.
Yeah, that
They're
was
like,
great.
oh, we all know we're going to do it, so let's just do it openly.
Right.
And hey, let's read the fortune cookies out loud in case there's a clue in there.
That's what 1L Michele gave us. She wanted to see if that was the case, and Ben was checking with everyone. You're going to be genuine. You're really going to read what's there, right?
Like I said, paranoia rampant. I liked Michelle's cookies though. As the purse is emptied, the heart is filled. And then don't be afraid of taking a big step. Well, yeah, that was a good one to put in as survivor.
She couldn't have picked two better ones for
No,
sure,
not
given
for
what
her.
was coming her way.
Because she was debating about not buying that 50-50 flip. And I can't blame her for that because, oh my
can.
gosh, can you imagine spending all 4 of your tokens, having it, the ability to do something else and not having any, and then flipping that thing and it said, you didn't get the safe?
When you're sitting on nothing but 4 fire tokens, yeah, I think she
Yeah, I
made the
know,
right
but
choice, and
still.
you shouldn't hesitate. You get fixated on fire tokens, you end up with Sandra's result.
But I understand her hesitation.
Okay, I didn't.
All I'm saying, understood it. Like, oh my gosh! And I like that she was practicing flipping it to see if she could get a higher.
No, I didn't. I was confused by that part myself. But
No, I thought no. Now that's something I would do. I would try it and see what I thought my odds were. But she did it anyway. The fortune cookies did help. So thanks for the fortune cookies.
she ends up deciding to go ahead with that deal, and that's pretty much the last we hear of it from there.
Yeah.
So as far as we know, Parv ends up with 4
4
fire
tokens. That's what we're going with right now.
Yeah.
Parv's got 4 until we find out anything different because they haven't shown us that she spent any or shared with Danny or.
We didn't get any
Tossed
update on
one
that,
Danny's
and I'm
way.
just fine with that part.
Yep, that's
I'm,
right.
I'm good with no more time spent on Edge because it's day 23 and we've got to go to that immunity challenge. It's a
Brutal.
classic endurance challenge with this triangular object floating in the water, and you got to balance on it for certain intervals, and you have to move higher and higher.
There is no way I could do that with my feet.
I really thought Denise was a shoo-in for this one.
Yeah, we both did.
She's got to be the lightest one out there. She's
She's
the
short.
smallest. She's got little feet, so she was like perfect
Well,
for this.
and she's so muscular, strong legs, and most importantly for balancing, is a strong core.
She looks like she's got good core for sure. Yep.
And so we thought, oh, Denise will do well
Got a
at
lot.
that.
Yep.
No.
Couldn't have been
Second
more wrong.
one out. Only Michele went first.
Yeah.
Then Denise.
Yep.
Jeremy barely made it that first 5 minutes.
Tyson went out third, then Jeremy. Yep. And after Jeremy had saved himself multiple times, and then that's the thing, you get the right wave or the right sequence of waves with this, and then you're done, and you can't help it. They did seem to be trying to be conscientious of each other, trying when they came off their platforms not to make too big of waves. I noticed some people seem to be focused on that, which is good, or not, depending on how you're thinking about things, I guess. The wind picks up and is giving Adam a little trouble, but then Tony's
Well,
out.
they moved up higher.
Oh, yeah, the second position.
Yes, they moved up.
That's when Tyson and Jeremy went out. Boom,
Yep,
boom.
Tyson, then Jeremy, and then it got windy, and then the wind got Tony, I think.
Yep. They got down to 3 women versus 3 men. Sophie, Sarah, Kim versus Nick, Adam, and Ben. At least that's how Probst chose to frame it. And they made it through the second position, and then they moved up to the very top. And then promptly Adam, Sophie, and Nick were out. And then Sarah followed not too soon after, not too late after that. And then Kent ended up being...
Kim versus Ben.
Ben seemed to be doing like rodeo hands. That's what I was thinking with the gestures that he was making. He was
I
trying
was
to
surprised Ben
balance.
did that well. I didn't expect him to.
And Kim, the biggest woman out there, tall.
I
and
know.
all that, and so all the things that we thought where Denise had an advantage.
Top heavy,
should've-
tall.
I'm glad you said that part. And then Denise.
Well, it does make a
goes-
difference.
Goes second, and Kim ends up winning. Good on her. And not only does she have immunity for tonight's tribal council. Yeah.
She still has an idol.
She ends up with a fire token too. So her fire token count goes up to 2.
She's looking pretty good tonight.
Yes.
So, woohoo. An
Tony
extra
recaps
ticket.
for us and says it's still the low profile versus the high profile folks, and it's time to get more of those hyenas out of here before they come for the lions.
Okay,
He's
Tony.
sticking with that plan.
I thought they were going to come after lions. So, oh well.
What
I
did
was
you think
wrong.
about when they got back to camp here? Back to the Koru camp, and it kicks off.
It started to go nuts.
Kim tried to set the stage for us. She said it's not a crazy vote, and that was our first hint that something was about to go sideways. It's really clear and easy. Just Nick versus Adam.
You thought Nick was already working Kim. Oh, so much respect. Good job.
Oh, you mean
Yeah.
right when they got back?
Yeah, right when they got back, and then they're like, yeah, okay, we're gonna split the vote between Nick and Adam. I thought, oh no.
Ben he seemed to deflect it away from Adam at this point. He said, well, I'd really rather see it be Nick or Michele.
Yeah, since
they
they
were
were
closer
both
to
with
Wendell.
Wendell, yeah.
Yeah, so
But everybody has their own reason who they work a little bit better with.
and it was on.
And that colors every single name that's put out there. Like, oh no, well, Michele would work with me better than Adam. So
Yep.
that's some hardcore playing.
Nick's in his chaos mode. He decides to switch it up a little. He goes to Tyson, and he tells Tyson, so Sophie said that you're the name that's in play. And Jeremy, Tyson, and Adam are talking, and they're thinking, well, maybe we should go after Sarah.
Yep. Okay, yeah. Well, the group wants Sarah.
Denise and Kim, we see them chatting down on the beach, and Denise shares with Kim that Sarah's name is up, and Kim agrees, as you should. This is an example of how to do it. Just like Denise and Kim are, you say yes, and then figure out what to do. And Kim goes to Tyson and says, well, I don't want it to be Sarah. And Tyson
said, well, if Adam has that much power, maybe it should be Adam.
if he's calling the shots, let's take him out.
Yeah. And then,
Tyson and Kim take that to Jeremy.
yeah.
Yeah, let's get rid of Adam.
Well, then Tyson tells Sarah, too, that they're after her. And boy, is she not happy.
And just before that, he shared something that I'm sure a lot of people are wondering, why isn't Tyson coming up more often here? Why isn't he being
I thought
targeted?
he was going to go home.
And he shared with us that this confusion really seems to be helping him.
Yes.
And he's leveraging that. And that's been a really good thing for him at this point.
Yeah, because when I looked at the roster, I'd said, oh, I thought it was between probably Nick and Adam, but Michele could be in there too, blah, blah, blah. And I go to look at the roster before I make my picks, and I think, who does not fit in this picture, this group of people? And I thought, Tyson. So I kind of thought, I think they might turn that back around now that they see kind of what the stronger guys' strategy was. They might group together and start picking off the stronger guys. And so I
don't think anyone was reading it that way, though. I mean, there's
well, obviously not, because
something to your story, but it didn't really fit the narrative that we were given.
It didn't, and it obviously didn't work. So I didn't get a vote off point for sure. But that was my reasoning. And then Sarah tells Ben, and then Ben all of a sudden is like, well, I hope it doesn't end up being me. I thought, I don't think she said anything about you.
This is an interesting exchange that happens, and it's interesting from the perspective of how Adam shares with us that he interpreted it versus what we get to see.
Yeah.
So Ben goes to Adam and asks him, who said Sarah and I are too close? And Adam hesitated. He wasn't ready for this at all. And it was exactly a play right out of Rob's book. He had seen Rob use this against him, right? Ben was in this situation with Rob on the beach in the first episode. And Ben fumbled it, and now Ben gets to put Adam through that same scenario, and Adam fumbled it and wouldn't give a name. Now, Adam says that he treats him like a child, but I didn't think he treated him like a child at all. I thought he was very clear and calm, in at least the part that we got to see. Granted, it's completely filtered by the portion of their exchange that we see, and I thought he treated him like an adult, but I think Adam was flustered because he got caught.
Yeah.
And so now it's Ben being mean to him and treating him like
Yeah,
he's
and
a
he's
child.
been frustrated with Ben for weeks anyway. Like
'Cause
Ben's not giving him enough information.
And
He's not with him enough. He's not enough.
And Ben had called him out on things that he had done. So Adam's got a history of having to answer to Ben in that regard when Adam had done something against Ben's alliance.
And then Ben goes to Tony and said, "Well, so you said my name." So,
he was just
maybe-
testing people at that point.
well,
right?
my thought was maybe he's trying to create the same chaos. Maybe he and Tyson talked about, let's just create lots of chaos.
Yeah.
It's sometimes that backfires, but obviously this time.
Certainly that was Nick's plan. I don't know if it was part of Tyson's plan to cause chaos. Tyson was just happy to have all the confusion to hide behind, and
Well, yeah.
confusion was unleashed at this point. So it was quite the head spinner. There's no way to track what was going on at this point, and I felt like I appreciated the edit for helping us understand a little bit about how they feel as things are moving and changing so quick like that.
Though it was chaotic. And Adam tells us he's voting for Sarah, and he's going to go for Jeff's podium idol.
It's a high stakes game, and he's living on the edge, and then he caught himself. But I don't want to be on that edge.
I'm already
not the Edge of
feeling a little
Extinction.
embarrassed for Adam. You know, when he's even talking about going for it, I thought, oh, he's going to do it, but this is not going to go well.
Really, you thought that?
I did.
Because I think you got plenty of reason to think that it was going to go well at this point.
I didn't think for a second, and I know that it could be, but they've never done it before. And I thought,
This sounds
but
like
then they started when we got
hindsight.
to try. No, that's what I was thinking in the moment when he said that.
Okay.
Then we went to tribal council, and they kept showing it, and I thought, well, maybe he's on to something. And, you know, I didn't notice it. I never saw it, so
So it must not be anything.
not at that point. At that point, I thought, well, maybe. I didn't think it was anything until they started showing it.
Probe sets the tone for tribal council. He says it's a cagey game of cat and mouse, and yet people still keep being blindsided. And Sarah answers the first question and said, yeah, it's chaotic. Everyone's playing a solo game at this point.
Yeah.
Tyson says it's all about run in circles, scream and shout.
What about Jeremy's analogy?
The fire jump in the road, that was good.
Yep.
That's
Well,
that
he's
great,
a firefighter.
great storytelling that Jeff's always talking about
Yeah.
these people possess.
And Denise tells us she aged a few years today.
She said yes to every plan.
Well, I wasn't sure she should have given that up.
She overshares sometimes.
I was like,
Yeah.
you might want to keep that to yourself.
Different
that
version of your
you
story.
said yes to everyone's plan.
Yeah.
That would stick in my mind. So I thought she shouldn't have shared that.
Nick tells him that today it's all about the easy votes. And he lists the easy votes as himself, Adam, and then he says Tyson. So he actually protected Michele there. I think it would have been easy to say
Whether it was
Michele,
delivered
but
or not.
well, he had a plan to put the stink on Tyson too. So
But he was tired of his name coming up. Mm-hmm. And I'm ready to play with someone.
it's classic when you're at that we hear at tribal councils when someone's playing from the bottom. They declare that no one's willing to play the game. No one's playing. Well, it's always no one's playing with you. It's not.
Someone's playing.
It's not the case that no one's playing the game.
Well, that's like Nick said. No one wants to say a name. I thought I heard lots of names.
Yes.
So
So did Nick. He was just, that was his choice, his narrative, I suppose. He's wanting to chastise them a little bit for not playing the game that he wants them to play.
you know what annoys me slightly?
What's that?
I want to see what everybody was saying to each other.
Yeah, you don't like that
We're
whispering?
never going to get that
You don't like those
information.
live tribal
No,
councils?
I like it fine. I just want to be privy to the information. Dadgummit, share it somewhere. Let us know what they're saying to each other after the fact.
It's certainly breaking Adam's ability to focus and respond to probes.
Well, I don't know. He and Ben just kept right on arguing through all of it. Gave them all the perfect opportunity to just chit-chat with each other.
It is indeed a crazy live tribal with lots of people moving around and talking.
Now, I did like that Adam asked Nick, did they tell you to vote for me?
Mm-hmm.
And that they shared that, so they both had that information.
Yep.
But somebody calmed Nick down
Yes.
about it being him. And, Adam's response was, well, now I don't feel so good then. If you feel better, I feel worse. And he did go to Sophie again, and Sophie told him she thought he was going to be okay.
No, she didn't. That is not what she told him. She said,
That's what I thought
you've
she
got
told him.
cause to be concerned.
Oh, we're going to have to
You're-
go back and
you're
watch
not
that.
fine.
That's not how I thought she told him again. I think you're okay.
No.
Okay.
No,
well,
she
we'll have
actually
to-
gave him a heads up that there's a problem coming his way. He's right to be concerned.
Okay, well, I didn't see it that way, so. Anyway, moving on.
Like you
Well,
said,
they-
Nick ends up telling Probst that he feels better, and that's Adam's clue for, hey, if he thought he was voting for me, then that's not good for me. And he ends up asking everyone what's going on, who they're voting for, and we get crickets. They even crank the volume
my
up on the
gosh, that was so
I don't know if there are really
awkward.
crickets there, but they definitely did
That was perfect editing.
the Ferris Bueller moment where he
Crickets.
asks the
Bueller.
question.
Bueller?
Yeah, nobody responds.
Oh, my.
Rob from over in the jury says there's going to be someone in need of major therapy at the Edge tonight.
Well, at least the jury got good laughs out of this tribal council.
Yep, they did. They were entertained, and they do another quick flash over to the fleur-de-lis there in the podium, and they go up to vote, and we do see that Adam votes for Sarah, and then he comes back, and he's eyeing that fleur-de-lis again, so like you were saying, you got plenty of reason to think that there might be something there. And when Probst asks if anybody wants to play an idol, Adam goes up there and tries to free it.
Did he ask? I thought he went up
No.
there before he asked
Yeah,
to
Probst
play the
asked-
idol.
Yeah,
Oh.
and then Adam walked up there and he attempts to remove the fleur-de-lis from the podium, but is not successful. And he says, well, it's worth a shot. He's going back. And then Probst asked a question that was odd, and I can't help but think that he was toying with him, given how the results
Well,
played
are you
out.
certain now that
You
it's
don't
not?
want? Well, no. He said, you don't want to play that? And Adam was paying attention. He said, yes, I absolutely want to play that thing that I could not remove. And then Probst goes on for a little bit, and he said, that is not an idol. All votes for Adam will count. You and I both had Adam safe, trying to get some more save points off of him.
Not some more. I didn't have any.
Oh, I was trying to get some more.
I was trying to get one. I thought, well, I'll put him safe, see if I can get one.
I had Nick going, and you had Tyson going. So
Yep.
I still had a little hope that it was Nick, but with Adam's big goof, it didn't seem like it.
So, who's the other person you think that voted for Sarah? Sarah got 2 votes.
No, Sarah got one.
Sarah got 2 votes.
Sarah got one. Nick got 2.
Sarah got 2 votes. I wrote it down.
Nick got 2. You wrote it in the wrong
I wrote
place.
it in the wrong place.
But be adamant, please.
I will, because it's on my list.
This is how our discussions go.
All right. Well, I'll go back and double check it just to
Yeah, the
make sure.
question is who voted for Nick, I suppose. But yeah, they split between Nick and Adam
Well,
just
I
to be
thought
safe.
that Sarah probably got somebody to vote with her against Nick, just in case she got votes thrown at her. There would at least be
After she had done
a
that nice thing
tie.
for Nick, she would turn around and vote for him.
Yes,
I think it was someone else.
in a heartbeat.
Okay. Well, the votes come in, and then it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for Adam, and Adam's out. He says worth a shot, and Probst confirms. I think he gave him a little something after
Yeah,
making
they
him
only
look
showed 9 of the votes.
like a doofus. Probst said, yes, it's always worth a shot. So he gave him a little bit of his dignity back after setting him up for the fall there.
Well, and I actually agree with that. It was worth a shot. It was off the wall and all that, but my thought was they're going to do that in another season. They're going to put it in plain sight. It's going to drive Adam nuts because they did it in another season.
And
It was his idea.
If I was the person to do that, I would say, I want to play the Adam idol for me. And just another dig on Adam there.
Yep.
And Adam ends up giving his fire token to Denise.
Yay!
So he's given her the benefit of the doubt, I suppose, that she might have been one of those votes.
Good
for
on
Nick.
her. Though I'm pretty sure she voted for him, but I guess she could have been one of the votes for Nick.
What did you think about the episode as a whole?
It was good. I enjoyed it.
I think they're back in gear. So this is really what you wanted from the excitement and the energy that you wanted from the merge episode. I think we're back on track. I mentioned last week that one was a little less than I was expecting, given everything that had gone down in the first half. But I enjoyed the energy, the pacing, all the confusion, the different options, how things were playing out.
Okay, tell me this. Who do you think is going to have to console Adam and be his
Therapist?
therapist on EOE?
Well, when Rob said it, he said it to Parv, so I'm
Probably
guessing
Parv.
Parvati.
Yeah, but
See,
Parv's busy with Ethan.
He had a connection. She wasn't too busy to go do yoga on the beach with Natalie and Danny, so
Yeah.
she's got time in her schedule out there on Edge of Extinction.
Yeah, I've seen her pictures of her doing it with more than that, and even doing some meditation and stuff with Ethan. But,
Sure.
but yep,
Who knows? Maybe it'll be Ethan. Will make
that's
some
what
time
she
for
is as a
Adam.
life coach. So, and I imagine she needs to keep busy, so it would be good for her too. But I can't see Rob.
Do you think they'll? Definitely not. No.
Rob be like, dummy.
Rob
He's
was
more
definitely
likely
giving
to
him a
say
hard
something
time
like
when they
that.
were on the same tribe together, for
Yep,
sure.
Yep, that's true.
Making fun of him any chance that he
Adam tells us he made too many mistakes, made 3 strikes, he's out. And he said, thinking that there was an idol at tribal council made him play more aggressively, and it cost him.
got. That just
I'm
seems
like,
like someone making excuses
yeah.
after the fact. But
Yeah.
okay.
Okay,
Well,
next
I'm
on.
fine. Actually, I'm fine seeing Adam go to Edge of Extinction.
Oh, yeah, me
and
too.
I don't think he'll be coming back from there. He's not someone that I'm thinking will have a shot. But who knows?
Yeah, you never know. But
Next time on Survivor, Sophie declares it's going to be war tonight. The big question's who's going to be dead in the trenches, she asks.
let's keep it real, Sophie. Jeremy to Tony, I want to split up Sarah and Sophie. I thought it was about time
That
somebody
was what you
noticed.
said when we were watching, yeah.
I know. It's like somebody needs to
What
be
did you think
paying
about this
attention.
question that Tony asked Nick and Ben? Do you guys want to blindside Jeremy?
I have been waiting for that to happen too.
Well, this is interesting because Tony considers himself and Jeremy and Tyson, at least, and
Yes.
probably Sarah, as the
Exactly.
big high-profile players. I didn't necessarily put Ben in there. I don't know what Tony thinks of Ben, but Ben was in that group when they
But
had the discussion. So it was interesting to hear Tony ask that of Nick and
I
Ben.
wasn't surprised at all.
Is it a setup? Is it a
Well,
test?
No, I think the fact that Jeremy just told Tony he wants to target Sarah.
This was being response. It's a retaliation.
Absolutely,
You think?
because Tony is in with Sarah. Well, supposedly, at least they're supposed to have this tight alliance. Cops or us, and they're not being obvious about it. But Tony, for sure, obviously Jeremy doesn't know or suspect that they're tight, or he wouldn't have said that. But
Right.
I think that's exactly why he's turning it toward Jeremy. It's because Jeremy's going after Sarah, and he's going to protect his girl. That was my thought, anyway. And Ben tells us tonight there will be blood.
What'd you think about what Kim said to Denise? That seemed odd. That she's ready to go to Edge,
She's willing to go to the Edge to make a big move.
trying to make a
do.
move.
What would be a big move?
You move against someone that's in your alliance. You move against the majority.
Yeah, but who would that be? That's what I'm saying.
They've all been voting together, so it's not clear
So,
exactly.
Supposedly, Kim was in with Jeremy and Denise and Tony, and then I don't know who else. she
Tyson and
might
Ben,
have. Yeah, maybe.
Sarah, Sophie, they're all on the same side of the boat. They're the ones controlling what's going on.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I was trying to figure out what is the
That's-
big move she's pondering, and
Well, there's talk about going after Sarah, so I guess that's one of them.
well, Jeremy to me would be a big move.
Sure.
Tyson, I guess, would be a big move. Yeah, Sarah could be a big move. But, yeah.
And we see Sarah say to Tony, "This is a crucial decision." And then Sarah declares, "This is going to end badly." So it sounds like the lions versus the hyenas may be coming to an end in the next time on Survivor.
Yep,
They're
yep.
at least wanting us to consider that, how it's been set up, because the big players.
Well, you have to suspect Sarah's talking about going after Jeremy.
Why does it have to only be Jeremy?
Because she's saying this is a crucial decision.
Okay, why
And
does
she
that
did.
not include other people? Why does that only mean Jeremy?
I think that she considers that part of the alliance, that they're kind of on the edge of, knowingly or unknowingly. But anyway, because that's what Tony said. He was.
Do you think they're
wanted to go after
done?
Jeremy.
Can they be comfortable somewhat abandoning the high profile, low profile lions versus hyenas
Yeah.
strategy?
Sure.
Who are the low profiles that are left? You got Michele, Nick. They had Denise in that category, and I think they were thinking of Sophie in that category too. So
I would question that one.
I don't know if
But yeah,
Sophie's
probably.
Sophie's absolutely not a big flashy player the way
Well,
Tony and Tyson and the
Ben
big
included
threat.
himself in that.
Yeah, it doesn't
but-
count when you do it yourself. But
I know,
you
but
could.
I don't know how they feel. How does Tyson feel? But because Ben seems to be all over the place with everyone, and he has from the very beginning. So he's talking to everybody.
Well, are you arguing that that's a
No.
bad thing? Or?
No, I'm not.
Okay, I don't know what your point is there.
My point was Ben's talking to everyone.
It's usually a pretty good thing to
That
do.
was pretty.
Yeah.
That was it.
Okay.
Just that he was. I hadn't seen him not talk to a lot of people. Other than, I don't know about, no, he's approached Sophie and
What you always
Sarah,
want
too.
to watch for is who's on the right side of the vote.
yes. Well, and I think
Who's
that's
clued
kind of what
in.
he's trying
And
to
he's been in that. He's been on the right side of the vote. So
Yeah. Well, maybe that's why he's feeling everybody out, which is fine. That's what they're all should be doing.
it seems a little too soon to abandon the lions versus hyenas thing. But they're going to get nervous when there's just a few of those targets left. So yeah, maybe Michele and Nick are going to get a big break here.
Well, and now it's 5 men, 5 women.
Okay.
I don't know that will come into effect. It doesn't appear to be so.
No.
But,
Not with this high caliber a player. No.
yeah, I don't think so either.
Exciting. Well, I'm happy to feel like they've got some of their energy back and that they're picking up
Yes.
steam as we head into the second half here. How about a JSFL update?
I can do that. Dakota 1107 and Do Diddle are tied for first place with 43 points. That makes I think I have 35. Makes me look pretty bad. 7 people lost their USB. 86 people lost a safe point, including both you and I.
Yep.
And 117 people gained a vote-off point. Good job.
Yes.
In the side challenge, with 42 points in first place, Jay Kindred. With 39, Jeremiah. 38, Jonathan. 37, Parker. 36, we have Cameron, Cold Mike, Drew, Rebecca, Slappy, and Stacy. With 35 points, we have Brandon, Carl, and Justin. With 34, we have Jack. And with 33, we have Chris.
Okay, and now this is an important week in the game where you have an opportunity to switch your choice for your Ultimate Survivor bonus. You could stay with who you'd picked before the game started for a chance at 24 points. If you wanted to switch away from that person and your choice was still in the game, you could switch to where there was 10 points, so you lose 14. And then if your original choice had been voted out, you could make a new one, at which point you could still potentially win 5 points if that person ends up winning.
Okay, so in the lead, the majority of the people is now Sophie with 54 people choosing her, and she had 10 originally.
Yeah, big move up.
Jeremy is in second with 47 people. He had 35 before.
Gain some more for sure.
Denise has 45. She had 46. Somebody abandoned her.
Oh.
Sarah with 37. She had 18 before. Kim now has 36. She had 41 before. Tyson with 33. He had 34 before the merge. Tony is at 29. He was at 8 before the merge.
Definitely he's looking better.
He is.
I think most people are pretty shocked that he's still here.
Michele with 25 people choosing her. She had 21.
Gained a few.
Yule has 18. He had 53.
Understandable. He's out on the edge.
Right. Ben with 17. He had 13. Wendell has 10 people that stayed with him. And he had 44.
Yep. Time to sell on Wendell.
Nick has 9. He had 12. Natalie has 9. She had 25. Ethan has 8. He had 17. Adam with 7. He had 9. Danny has 7. She had 16. Parvati has 7. She had 23. Rob still has 5. He had 12. And Amber has 3. She had 10.
Oh, I like the optimism there.
It's
That's
like,
definitely
Mara?
the long shot.
Well, why not? Because if you're right, you probably shoot up to first place.
Yes, I don't see.
So why not
Definitely
take
don't
the
see Amber
chance?
coming back. Yeah,
Well, you never know.
it's true.
You don't know what the competition will be. Might be something.
I think you got a pretty clear
perfect for
indicator
her.
when she gave up her one fire token to her husband, though, that she's
Well,
not
that
actually
she
playing for
thought he
herself
would play
anymore.
better, but I think that was a family decision.
Mm-hmm.
She thought he had a better chance, and I don't disagree with that.
I don't either. I'm saying that she's not playing for herself anymore.
They're playing for their family. They both are, I think. And I think Rob would step back if he thought she had a bigger chance.
We're certainly excited to see what you thought about this episode and how you think the game's progressing. What did you think about the change of events and all the chaos that unfolded this time? Were you surprised that Adam's gone? Were you happy that Adam's gone? Yeah, we're okay with that part. And we're looking forward to hearing what you thought about it. We do a listener feedback show on Saturdays. Feedback's due noon Pacific time, whether you write or record it yourself or call in the voicemail line. Looking forward to keep that in that 3-minute mark so we can get everybody in. We've just been having these jam-packed listener feedback shows. So looking forward to seeing what you thought about this one. How do you think this is affecting everyone's game? Are we done with Lions versus Hyenas? Are they about to turn on themselves now? The voicemail number is 206-350-1547. If you need the toll free, it's there, 844-643-8737. The email, joanneandstacyshow@gmail.com. Love to have you be a part of that listener feedback show. We've been having a great time there and get a lot of different views and get to see the game through different filters, and that really helps you when you're thinking about how to make your picks. Sometimes it can help you see the season in a completely different light, so we really look forward to those shows. It does help out when you can get it in early, but don't stress. If it comes around Saturday and you haven't gotten it in, there's still time up till noon Pacific time. We look forward to hearing from you. Anything else you'd like to add?
Talk more on Saturday.
Have a good one.